Well, ladies and gentlemen, what is up? It's your boy, JNW Boss in the building. We are back here for another episode of All Out Revolution. But as you see here, we got Lorenzo Sampson and RJ Smith, who have decided, for whatever reason, to occupy the ring. I don't know what these guys are still doing here. I really don't. Yo, in case you needed a reminder of who we are, my name is RJ Smith, and I'm here with Lorenzo Sampson. Out here to give you guys a reminder that the talent that you all are going to see are not on our level. The guys that are about to come out here and wrestle for you will not be on our level. I'm giving you the chance to see what greatness looks like now before those clowns in the back come out here and absolutely ruin the atmosphere. But then again, I think we already messed up being in this dump of a town that we're in. Hey. So take in greatness while you got it, because it won't be here for too much longer. Okay, what we're not about to do is let you come out here and talk crazy about these All Out Revolution wrestlers. What we're not about to do is let you two think that you guys are going to run the place just because you guys are buddies and friends or pals or whatever with Mr. Bloomberg. In fact, the way I see it, you two are standing in the middle of an all-out revolution ring, and since you two are not under contract nor in a scheduled match for the show, I'm going to consider that trespassing.
Which they are.
So, since you two are standing in an all-out revolution ring, not under contract, you two are trespassing, which means you two are subject to what happens next. So, gentlemen, if you can, remove these two from the arena.
You were ready for this.
Our All Out Revolution general manager was ready for this one, and there's Brian Dexter, the All Out Revolution global champion, and oh snap, and she got Dexter Tarleton behind this one. And RJ and Brian Dexter got a little bit of history. They got into it on the last episode, and Lorenzo got history with Darren's brother, and here we go. Please get these two out of the arena. And Dexter and Lorenzo throwing hands now. And Brian Dexter, I hope that Brian Dexter is making a wise choice, because he has a global championship defense right here tonight against Sean Wright in singles action. And earlier in the week, he also was let off with a warning by Mr. Bloomberg for attacking invited guests. So I hope that either this is resolved or some way. Oh, goodness. Because I'm down for seeing Brian Dexter come out here and absolutely demand a lead to get RJ Smith out of here, please. RJ Smith showed up on the last episode talking heavy, talking all this junk about All Out Revolution and whatever, and he's doing the same thing. And I don't know how the world Mr. Bloomberg is allowing that. I really don't think Mr. Bloomberg is watching the program and seeing what the dude is capable of doing. I mean, talked all that junk and then got into a fight with oh, good grief. Got into a fight with Darren and Brian on the following episode, and then on All Out Action, he went and attacked A2J. And then he almost caused Austin Wallace to cash in his briefcase, but still, and thank goodness Brian Dexter got the upper edge. And he's looking to get rid of Mr. RJ Smith here, and look at Lorenzo Sampson and Dexter brawling on the other side. As mentioned before, Lorenzo Sampson got history with Darren Tarleton, who is now suspended thanks to all of this that happened between these two last episodes. And Dexter Tarleton, he's new to All Out Revolution, but clearly has history with Lorenzo Sampson dating back to the World Collide situation with CTP invaded All Out Action and this, that, and the third, and things are broken down here in All Out Revolution. Lorenzo getting the upper hand now with this exchange, but Dexter throwing, he got a hand. Dexter throwing the fight that's always been within him in a spear. Good grief. And Dexter taking Lorenzo Sampson to the back. Ladies and gentlemen, we got to move on. We got a matchup to kick us off. We got tag team action at Rays of Apocalypse. It's set to take on the Cabal, and the winning team will face Wicked in a #1 contenders matchup next episode. And the winner of that match, of course, will face the Millennium Riders on the final episode. Wow. for End of an Era. Our opening tag team contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, at a combined weight of 525 pounds, the team of Finn and Wrath. They are the Raid of Apocalypse. The Raid of Apocalypse got a golden opportunity in front of them here, as I mentioned before. If they are able to beat the Cabal in the #1 contenders match tonight, then they will have the chance to face Team Wicked, who was victorious over Weapon of Mass Destruction in the previous episode. The winner of this match will face Team Wicked, and then the winner of that match will face the Millennium Riders on the final All-Out Revolution episode before End of an Era and before the start of Action Central Wrestling. I mean, what a time to be around. What a time to be a part of the Action Army. How much I can say. And here come a guys, couple of guys that know a thing or two about the All Out Revolution Tag Team Championships here. And their opponent, accompanied by Taskmaster, at a combined weight of 420 pounds, Eldred and Ryan Rage, the Cabal. Well, the Cabal, Eldred on your left in the green, Ryan Rage in the small shirt on the right, and Taskmaster leading these two teams down the ramp here. The Cabal was the first ever All-Out Revolution Tag Team Champion, defeating the Millennium Rider back at Live On in what was, a lot of people would say, a tremendous, an outstanding ladder match for the tag team title. But ever since then, the Cabal will then go on to lose the tag team titles to Brandon and Alec, which is a whole different can of worms in of itself. And then ever since then, they've been trying to do what they can to get back in title contention. And they got a great opportunity tonight. They got to win 2 matches, this one. And then they got to beat Team Wicked, and that's a lot easier said than done. Believe you me. But nonetheless, this is looking to be an exciting episode of All Out Revolution, kicking it off. Well, one of the best divisions around, the tag team division, as it will be Wrath and Eldred kicking us off. Hello, as the first matchup gets underway. Hello, this is JW Boss. Welcome you guys again to another episode of All Out Revolution. We are about 2 episodes away from the End of an Era pay-per-view. And following End of an Era will be the birth of Action Central Wrestling. 2 rosters will become one, and at End of an Era, all championships will be unified, and we will crown the first ever ACW champion. So, this is the perfect time to be around, and if at any point during this episode you feel so inclined, feel free to click the like, comment, and subscribe, and also click the bell icon. That way you don't miss another all-out action or all-out revolution upload. Right now, Wrath is taking it to Eldred here. Oh! Nice back elbow. And I got to say, if you're the team of Finn and Wrath, this is the biggest opportunity you've had. I got to admit, for those 2 guys, this is the closest they have been to tag team gold here in All Out Revolution. They've been in tournament, and they weren't really all that, it didn't really pan out for them. So now you have a match. Oh, man. But now you're in a situation where you only have to win 2 matches, and then you're in. Well, then, of course, you got to beat the tag team champion, but still. And Ryan looking to get a win right there. Wrath kicking out at the count of 1. Pretty early on in this matchup, I'm not too surprised, as the resilience on display from Wrath. And looking at Wrath. Oh, man. Excellent combination. Wrath is very well versed in numerous forms of martial arts, displaying it right there. Oh, man. Taking him to the outside. I mean, to my knowledge, he's actually well versed in one form of martial art, but due to legal reason, we are not allowed to talk about that here, so there you go. Anyways, Wrath is on fire here. Oh, man, kick right to the knee, repeated kick to the knee, and a neck break on the floor. Wrath is in a lot of, Ryan Rage is in a whole lot of trouble, but Wrath is, alright, excuse me for 5 seconds while I make this fun. Wrath is showing his wrath toward the Cabal, and here comes Finn, and thank goodness for the tag, because that opponent was about to go nowhere. But anyway, Finn is in this match now, looking to turn the tides here. And make sure Raid of Apocalypse walk out with the win there. Excellent spine buster. Down goes Ryan Rage, and that's his matchup rolled on here, I would like to say that our main event for the evening, it will be the All Out Revolution World Champion in singles action against Mac Wolf, one of our brand new draft picks here. And if we heard from the All Out Revolution General Manager last episode, that it will be on the final episode, it will be in addition to a tag title defense, and whether that be against, whether that be against Finn, Wrath, the Cabal, or Wicked is really up for these four gentlemen here to decide. But it will be Jackson Wade defending his world championship against Dave and Monster in a triple threat match inside of a steel cage. All Out Revolution definitely going to be doing something crazy going into his final days here. And right now, Finn and Wrath are on point. Great double team. Down goes Ryan Ray straight into a cover. And a kick at it, 2.5. That was so close. Rays of Apocalypse was moments away from advancing in this mini tournament, you may say. Wrath Center's delivering a shot to the gut. Ryan Ray needs to get out of this situation as soon as he can here, because we just saw Wrath get a 2.5 count. It only takes one strong move. It takes one, proper ringing of your bell, to get a 3 count, and then for this match to be done and dusted. But look at it. Oh, man. It's over 300 pounds crashing down on Ryan Rage. And a straight right hand, dropping Ryan Rage right in his place, and 2.5. But I need to know how much more Ryan Rage can take at this point. He's been on the receiving end of tremendous offense. By Finn and Wrath, and now Finn giving him that headbutt right to the side of the head. And repeated shots over and over. Really trying to send a message to Ryan Ray here that, hey, we're going to be #1 contender. You all had your chance. It's our time now. Let's make the most of it. And look at that. Now that's just bullying somebody. You're just going to shove someone down like that, bro. That's just straight outright bullying. But then again, who's really going to stop? Well, commentator Kirk kicks in. Who's really going to stop you? Ryan Rage is looking to be that guy. Sending Finn up over the top. Here we go. Look at this. Hurricane Rod out to the floor. And Taskmaster almost giving him like a slap in the back of the head, letting him know that, hey, about time you got something going. Because the Cabal was looking at a very rough way. Thank goodness Ryan Rage is able to finally get something going here for his team. Let's see what he got. Oh. I like the awareness of Ryan Rage, realizing that he was not in the best position to create offense, so decide to put himself in a position to create offense. But in doing so, he allowed Finn to get back in control. With a great back elbow, Ryan Rage saw that one coming. Looked like he tried to go for a kick of some sort. Oh, man. They send him across the ring. Tag is made to Wrath, and Wrath got Ryan Rage in all types of trouble. And it definitely doesn't help that Ryan is no longer able to get to his corner, loose as press. And Wrath is on a roll right now. Taskmaster trying to will Ryan Rage on, but how much more can this guy take? This dude's been taking a beating over the past couple of minutes at the hands of these two. Ooh. That's uppercut there. Oh, man, a running knee strike. Man, that probably might have been a knockout shot there. That might have been it. This might be over for Ryan Rage, who kicks out at 2.5 again. Talk about the toughness of Ryan Rage. We know the Cabal, not really the nicest people in the locker room. Not really, the most well-respected guys in the locker room by any stretch of the imagination. But you can't deny their capabilities inside this ring, and I think the fans here are starting to recognize that as well. I'm starting to notice the Cabal kind of gaining the support of the fans here. And now, wait a second. Now, Taskmaster called in a distraction, and that was the distraction that the Cabal needed. Here comes Eldre. Eldre is the legal man. The spear taking down Wrath. Wrath getting back to his feet. But look at Eldre. Oh, man. Pump kick right to the face, and now Wrath trying to go at him here. That didn't work. And now Wrath getting the back of his head slammed repeatedly into the mat there. Eldre's coming in. Full head of steam, full house of fire here. But I don't blame him. I mean, given what's at stake, bro, you got a chance to win some tag team gold. You better go crazy. Go crazy. Get stupid. Do something that you wouldn't normally do. With right hands here, Eldred. Looking to turn it around. DDT on the floor. And I know one particular fan is a massive lover of the DDT. King. Anyway, Eldred is on a roll. The crowd here definitely starting to, again, we got some fans of the Cabal in the house. It's crazy to hear the Cabal getting cheered for once, but you know it is what it is. Ooh. Send him down to the floor. He told him, nah, brother, you good. That was for the cheap shot to my boy earlier. Look at this. Excellent net breaker. Down goes Wrath, and now Eldred going for the cover. This might be a wrap right here. 2. Oh, kick out at 2. So close. But the Cabal finally has an opening. The Cabal finally has an opening to take this one home, if need be. Chop to the chest again. And this is where the Cabal can be a very dangerous asset here. Or a very dangerous opponent, I should say. Once they really get the ball rolling with that physicality, it is hard for them to be stopped, and great awareness on the part of Wrath. Realizing they need to get out of there as soon as possible, get the bigger man of the two back in this one, and let him rock. Let's see what he can do. Let's see how he can weaken Eldred here, and he's already began that process. Uranagi, oh, taking him down. Excellent work, and now look at Ryan Reigns getting the shot in behind the referee's back, as the referee was distracted there by Taskmaster. Not necessarily legal, but it's for sure effective. And now, ooh, man. And that would allow for the Cabal to take control, which is what they needed, especially against this bigger man here. And look at Finn fighting both of them off. Just holding both of them off without a problem. Ooh, man, get your jaw checked. Get your jaw checked, bro. Vinny Dennis, man, you're probably overdue for that anyway. But nonetheless, I ain't trying to show shade, man. I'm just speaking facts. And look at Ryan Reigns getting sent to the outside. And I think it's a fact that Finn and Wrath are in firm control, and Finn and Wrath may walk away with the victory. They might moonwalk out of here with the victory. They might be on some, oh, man. Look at them. Working as smooth can be. You can say they smooth criminals. Anyway, 2, oh. They almost walked out of here with a clean victory. That much I will say. Well, one of these two teams gotta get their, gotta put this one away. I mean, I have a feeling both teams can feel it. They got each other on the rope. It's a matter of who's gonna nail that knockout shot, who's gonna deliver the final blow to end this one. Sending Eldred into the corner, tag made. Wrath is back in it. Uh-oh. The end is nigh, bro. Oh, man. Down goes Eldred. Oh, well, right there is Ryan Reigns. Great work on that part, but then was over there on the other side of the ring. Play some defense, man. Have your partners back. Be ready for stuff like this, and that would make the Cabal so great. They're ready for this stuff. They've been in these parks before. They know what it's like. And now this allows Eldred to get the chance to get back to his feet, and I think that may have been an unwise move. Oh, wait, never mind. Wrath is getting back in it. Great forearm from Eldred. What an opening tag team content we are having here on All Out Revolution. Excellent net breaker. Down goes Wrath. Wrath now within a world of trouble. And now Ryan Reigns is trying to collect himself there on the apron, given the beating that he suffered. But I think it's over for these dudes. Oh, man. What a combination. What a combination right there. Wait a second. They're not going for the pin. That's usually what they use to put people away. But I think they got one more method they want to send. Let's do it from the other side. Oh, down he goes. That's him dropping to the, oh. And Eldred was was ready for that. He could tell Finn was trying to play some mind games there, not really working. And the Cabal picks up the win and advances to face Team Wicked next episode. Wow. Here's your winner, the team of Ryan Rage and Eldred, the Cabal. Ryan Rage and Eldred get the job done, and as mentioned before, they will face the team of Reaper and Forsaken next episode, and the winner of that match will face the Millennium Riders for the All Out Revolution Tag Team Championship on the final episode of All Out Revolution, man. So, for the Cabal, this is one step in the right direction. Let's see if you can keep it going. And ladies and gentlemen, some of the other matches tonight on the card, it will be All Out Revolution Women's Champion Gloria Bass versus Eve Tarleton. Gloria has coming off a hot streak of defeating Carmen, putting her behind her, and now kind of dealing with the Vegas. So can she focus on Eve and beating Eve tonight, as Eve is a former women's champion in her own right. And then in our co-main event, it will be Brian Decker putting his global championship on the line against Sean Wright. Now you got to question the health of Brian now, after everything that's going on and apparently still going on in the back with Brian, Ryan, and that crew. But he better be ready for Sean Wright, because I promise you, if he isn't, Sean gonna walk away with this one. And then in our main event, it will be Jackson Wade versus Mac Wolf. Jackson Wade coming off of successful defense at Breaking Boundaries, got his eyes set towards the end of an era, but he better not overlook Mac Wolf, who is a very competent competitor and know what he does, know what he can do in the main event spotlight. And here we go, and I will mention, still going on here. Oh, Desiree Tarleton driving the head down of RJ Smith. And as I mentioned, things were still going on, and it looks like the removal process is continuing as Desiree is dragging and beating down, busted up Ryan or RJ Smith, sorry. And thank goodness, and I think that's person number one. Get him out of here, please. And oh, wait a second, and now Brian Dexter. Brian Dexter with Lorenzo Sampson now in harm's way. Looks like Brian Dexter and Desiree Tarleton ain't no joke, bro. But look at this. From zero to hero. Through the table. Zero to Hero Connect. We finally have a name for that, ladies and gentlemen. Connect to Lorenzo Sampson, and time for Lorenzo Sampson to join the fate of RJ Smith and to get the heck up out of the arena. RJ Smith done crawled off. Dexter done went about his business and send Lorenzo Sampson packing. And the better off we all will be. Thank you, gentlemen, but I wonder what this means for Brian Dexter now, because Mr. Bloomberg already gave him a warning. What next? They're going to fire him now? He's trespassing. Ain't gun it. But nonetheless, Sacramento is in for a treat tonight as we move on with some singles action. As Sean Walter set to take on five-star athlete Aaron Weaver. The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, accompanied by Brian Walter from Palm Beach, Florida. Weighing in at 220 pounds, he is one half of the All Out Revolution Tag Team Champion, Sean Walter. And this is one of the very few times we're seeing Sean Walter and Brian, well, Sean Walter in singles action. And we usually see these guys tear it up in tag team competition. But let's not underestimate these guys. These two are tag team champions for a reason. They work well as a unit. And let's not take the fact that they work well as a unit as an indication of they don't work well as single competitors. We've seen Brian Walter in singles action. He did great. He did tremendous. And now we're about to see how he can do against a five-star athlete like Aaron Weaver. And his opponent from Seattle, Washington, weighing in at 201 pounds, he is the five-star athlete, Aaron Weaver. I will admit, Aaron Weaver is in a position now where he really gotta get back on that high horse. Ever since Onslaught, where he kind of failed to capture the global championship, Aaron Weaver has been kind of, he took a step away from the ring because he's trying to figure out, all right, what's next? What's the game plan? How do I move? How do I operate now? And especially with Action Central Wrestling becoming a thing pretty soon, you might want to have your bearings underneath you when you're inside this ring, because if you don't, the right competitor is going to take full advantage of that, and the right competitor is going to send you packing if you're not careful. And anyway, tonight he had to deal with Sean Walters into one of Aaron Weaver's first matches back in a minute, and to take on one half of the tag team champions. And definitely not a small feat here. And speaking of that, they are putting their feet to good use. An excellent drop kick on the part of Sean. And look at that, trying to go for a tornado kick. Didn't really work out there. And look at Aaron Weaver with a drive of the knee, staying a step ahead of Sean Walter. And I can only imagine if Aaron is able to pick up a win over Sean here, if he can get a partner, then they can potentially challenge for the tag team title. That would be some money if you ask me. But Aaron, look at that. Oh! Aaron tried to go in at Sean there. Sean was ready. Up ahead of the game. And look at that DDT. I'm telling you, man, don't underestimate these guys as a single competitor than a one count pretty early on in this matchup, so I'm not too surprised in that regard. And that Aaron Weaver doing a good job getting back in this one. And Sean off into the corner and a couple of drop kicks. And he can eat for a good measure. And then again, I will say Aaron does kind of have a little bit of the advantage here. And we typically see Aaron in singles action way more than we see Sean or Brian over there in singles action. So you can probably imagine, and we all remember the Best of 5 series that he, oh man, woo! I don't know how much Aaron remembering after that clothesline, but we all remember the Best of 5 series that Aaron had with Evan West back in the beginning stage of the All Out Revolution. So Aaron has kind of established himself early as a guy who can hang in this ring, and he almost picked up a win right there against Sean Walter. And a kick out at 2, and this matchup continues. Look at that Hurricane Rana. Great speed there on the part of Aaron. Look at him putting it work here right there with the shooting star press. Excellent work. Excellent. Oh, the 2.5, so close. Well, if you're Aaron Weaver in this situation, this is the moment where you got to see if that reevaluation paid off. As I mentioned before, Aaron, stepped away from the ring a while to kind of revitalize himself, to kind of rethink his game plan, rethink his approach in the ring. And so far, he's doing a solid job at that, putting in work on Sean Wright, one half of the All Out Revolution Tag Team Champion, with the Millennium Riders winning the championship back at our Breaking Boundaries pay-per-view. Look at that great counter from oh man! And to the outside goes Sean, and look at this! Excellent, excellent, excellent work. That's the scary thing about being around the all-out part. Being around all-out action, all-out revolution. You step to the outside, people got no problem coming back at you. And Sean figuring that out, kind of the hard way, you may say. Excellent count. Wait a minute. Brian Walter getting on the apron, causing a distraction right there. The world. Well, we usually see the Millennium Riders play things pretty straight laced here, but that was very interesting on the part of Brian to do that, and you can argue that matchup would have been in the bag for Aaron Weaver potentially if Brian Walter didn't get on the apron and do what he just did. Now Sean got advantage now because of that. So come on, gentlemen. Oh, what a cutter right there. What a cutter from Sean. Calling Aaron up to his feet here. Pump handle. X Factor, there we go. Pump handle, X Factor, down goes Aaron. Straight into a cover, and that's a wrap. But you can arguably say that if it wasn't for Brian, Sean probably wouldn't have gotten the win. Here's your winner, Sean Walter.
The crowd here in Sacramento are kind of with it, but if I'm Aaron, I'm feeling a little bit robbed. I'm feeling some type of way after that. And admittedly, I don't blame him if he does. But I guess the win, and I guess we got to keep a close eye on the attitude of Sean and Brian off of that one. I'm sure they're focused on who their potential #1 contenders are going to be, but for right now, they can bask in this victory. If anything.
For your next challenge, you need to learn how to handle pressured situation.
The heck, Draven?
You need to beat Pierce while you're in this condition.
And that's Alec. What the world did he do to this man?
If you fail, the same correction will take place. Good luck.
What the world did Draven do to this man? I mean, if that's Alex, that he just, oh goodness, he beats it. Yo, he beat the mess out of Alex. What the world is, what the heck happened there? And now Draven is dragging a clearly beaten, battered, and bloodied Alex out to the ring for his next challenge. I mean, we've seen Draven. We saw last episode, Draven gave Alex 5 minutes to beat his opponent, in which he failed, and then Draven came out here and beat him senseless with a baseball bat afterward for failing. And now this week, he's teaching him pressured situations by having him face an opponent while he's been beaten after senseless, I'm assuming, by Draven here. And they gotta face somebody by the name of Pierce. I'm not familiar with that gentleman's name. It would be somebody that Draven knows, but what type of training is this? I mean, the 5-minute thing, that's one thing, but the correction of them beating Alex with a bat afterwards, and now he had to beat Pierce. Perch is apparently this gentleman's last name. While Alex got beat after that, what the? Alex, dude, please. I get you want to do things by yourself, but please mind your circle, man. Mind your circle. Draven is not going to be a good thing for you, bro. I promise you. Oh, man. And the referee got knocked down in the process, and now this challenge is underway. And ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Pierce Perch here is making his all-out revolution debut. And oh, man. We don't know too much about this gentleman, and he got about a mysterious Mr. Draven over there. Probably, if not more so. Driving him face first, and apparently this matchup is fall count anywhere, so there's that. Why? What does Alec gain from this? I'm serious. What does Alec gain from this? You're a competitor. You're going to have wins. You're going to have losses. And yes, there are going to be moments where you're in a match and you're beat down like this. But I can think of very few times as a competitor where you're going to have to start out a match beaten, bloodied, and all this. Very few instances I'm going to think about that. So I question Draven's training methods as it did with Alex here. Seriously. And now Pierce is... Now Pierce is beating the brakes off of Alex. Alex, of course, getting no offense in. But given the condition that he's having to wrestle this matchup in, no, he got his gear on, none of that. Let's end this thing, man. Let's end it. What was that? What type of challenge was that? And now since he failed, now we got more correction that's about to take place. Are you serious? Here's your winner, Pierce Perch. What the world was any of that? And now, no. And now he's not finished either. Come on. Oh, come on, man. You already beat the man. He's already in this terrible condition in the first place. Listen, I get it. Maybe some people would say this is karma for Alex. After what he did to his former partner, Brandon. This is probably karma for Alex. You can say that. But even then,
Karma or not, look at him. He couldn't even stand up to his feet properly. So beaten, so battered, so worn down, he couldn't even stand to his feet properly. And now Pierce inflicted even more damage to Alex. If any more could have been done to this man. This is absurd. This is absolutely absurd. You need to get the medical attention now. Oh, here comes Draven with the baseball bat again. He said the correction would continue if Alex failed, and clearly Alex lost this match. Who else would have expected anything else here? Oh no, come on. I was congratulating Pierce on doing his bidding here tonight as a part of this challenge to Alex, and this is, oh come on, again with this. Oh, again, another week of this, seriously. Number one. What did Alex gain from this? Oh man, he was driving his knee and driving him head first into the batter for what? We need to get somebody out here. We need, Alex is a human, oh goodness, Alex is a human being. Say what you want about, wait a second, the Brandon. Thank goodness. I mean, we know Alex been wanting to be completely distant from Brandon. But thank goodness he's making a save for this. That was, oh, wolf kick right to the face. Thank goodness. Now look at the heat, bro. And I think Brandon realizing that Alex wants nothing to do with him and just going to go ahead and leave before Alex realizes it was him. And Alex has made it back to his feet, and Brandon, he saw him. Alex saw Brandon. I don't know where we go from here. I got no clue where we go from here. What does it mean for Alex? What? Everybody been asking me all week, Jackson, how do you feel about defending your championship in a steel cage match against those powerful human beings? Everybody is sitting there thinking because I got laid out that I'm scared. Everybody is thinking that just because they got the better of me one time, that I'm intimidated by them. Do I look like I'm intimidated of anybody? I can promise you this, Dave I've beaten before. Now Monster I've never been in the ring with, and I respect that guy's power. But if he really thinks he's about to walk up in here on my show, my house, the place that I've been building from the ground up, and take my world championship, you got another thing coming. Because this isn't all-out action. This isn't all-out action where you got a bunch of chumps you can run through. This is my house, heathen. And I'm going to be the world champion going into the end of an era. And if I'm my opponent tonight, Mac Wolf, bro, I'm going to prove to you why you were not world championship material. I'm going to prove to you why it was a fluke that you ended up in that triple threat match in the first place. You may have not quit at next level, that's fine. But I can promise you what you're going to do tonight is tap out. This is my place. This is my world. And you guys are just living in it. Hey, wait a second. I mean, we're confident word from the world champion, and Gloria Bath now is sitting there getting the jump on Candy Vega. Because last episode, following Gloria's victory, we saw Candy and Sassy Vega return and put a beat down on Gloria here. And Gloria clearly is getting a measure of revenge right here, right now. What a wild episode of All Out Revolution we have had up to this point, and we still got several matches to go. Sacramento, welcome to the nut house that is the All Out Revolution. Wow. The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, now residing in Montpelier, Vermont, weighing in at 234 pounds,
Jason Wells.
Jason Wells has successfully moved the heck out of England and moved out of his former buddy Austin Wallace's house and now resides in Vermont. Interesting place on the part of Jason, but nonetheless, Jason Wells is set to take on Destry Tarleton here and probably looking to prove himself to Andrew Lance, who with those who got into a verbal altercation last episode. And Destry Tarleton coming into this matchup now needing to win after losing a number one contenders match for the Global Championship to Sean Wright. So both of these guys need this win here. Both of these guys are going to come out ready to rock, ready to roll. And his opponent from Dallas, Texas, weighing in at 320 pounds, Destry Tarleton. As I mentioned before, Destry Tarleton kind of needs this win coming off of a loss in a number one contenders matchup to Sean Wright. And Destry being a former all-out action all-star champion, and the fact that he was wrongfully stripped of that championship thanks to being drafted by Mr. Bloomberg during the action draft. I would like to point out again that champions were ineligible to be drafted, as that was a part of the rule that was conjured up by Mr. Bloomberg, Zion, and Christina Miller. All three authority figures in charge. And so Mr. Bloomberg drafted Destry from All Out Action to All Out Revolution out of pure spite and to just mess with Destry in there respectively. He has a vendetta, and you can't say it isn't after doing some stuff like that. But nonetheless, Jason Wells, Destry Tarleton, here we go. This is going to be an interesting matchup. This is the first time these two have ever went one-on-one in singles action, and clearly we're seeing the power game of Destry shining through. It's either that, or we're seeing that frustration over everything that has happened over the past few episodes. Oh, man. Wow. Sending him across the floor. And I was saying, we were also seeing the frustration of Destry completely, really come unglued here. I mean, think about it. You get wrongfully stripped of the All-Star Championship. You, rightfully so, ask for reasoning behind why you get stripped for the All-Star Championship, and then you are threatened to be fired over it. And then, of course, you have a chance to challenge for the Global Championship, and you lose the number one contenders match. Yeah, if I'm Destry, I'm pretty heated, but fortunately, Destry is doing the right thing and taking his aggression out on the inside of the ring towards his opponent. And speaking of people who had aggression taken out on them, and speaking of, people who got seriously hurt, Alex, from what we just saw a moment ago at the hands of Destry and Pierce Birch, for that matter, Alex has actually been taken to a local hospital here in Sacramento. He's being checked out, definitely getting, wow, excellent height right there. Let's check out Jason Wells taking flight right there. Beautiful work on the part of Jason Wells. But as I was saying about Alex, he had been taken to a local hospital here in Sacramento. Definitely going to be checked out for injuries. We know for a fact he will be getting stitches, and hopefully we will see him soon. Hopefully next episode we get some type of further update on him or anything. We will keep you guys posted. Anyways, look at that. Destry Tarleton. Destry Tarleton was looking to go for a back suplex there. Jason Wells was finally able to get the ball rolling, and Jason Wells is still in it. He's still feeling it. He's still in his bag. And again, it's great to see Jason Wells in this environment, doing what he does best, professional wrestling, not having to worry about Austin Wallace, not having to worry about keeping a friendship intact, just focus on what got you to the dance, professional wrestling, focus on the fact that you were the first ever all-out action United States champion, and now you have a chance to do way better for yourself than you were allied with Austin Wallace. Just say. Anyway, Destry Tarleton looking to throw some hands to get back into one great counter on the part of Jason Wells. And look at that, homie went sky high, and not really the best landing. Jason, for 5 seconds, believed he could fly, and then remember that gravity existed. And remember that gravity existed in the worst way, landing on the knee of Destry Tarleton. And oh man, and Destry now dropping him on the back of his head and neck. And Destry is all fired up here, looking to put this one away. Crossing the arm, double under. No, he does not. Great counter from Jason. I wasn't expecting that. Excellent counter on the part of Jason Wells. And now Jason Wells has a wide open door to take advantage. Elbow drop here. Destry feeling it. He got Destry right where he wants him. Can Destry pull off, or can Jason pull off a massive upset here? Gut buster, drop kick inside. Nope. He was able to get countered off of that one. Get to the midsection. Oh, wait a minute. What the world? Oh, man. The suplex right to that coquina clutch here. And it may be a wrap for Jason Wells. Yes, it is.
Here's your winner, Destry Tarleton.
I gotta give props to Jason, because he was fighting. He was on one. He was ready to rock tonight. But Destry Tarleton was just a step ahead of the game. Destry Tarleton was a step quicker than Jason Wells on tonight. And if End of an Era rolled around and if Action Central Wrestling rolled around, those are the type of wins you need. Let's see if these two competitors can keep it up here. What a win. What a win. And Destry walking up to the ramp, proud as proud can be. And we move on. Do some women's action. Eve Tarleton versus Gloria Bass. Let's get it on, man.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first from Perry, Oklahoma, and in at 132 pounds, Eve Tarleton.
Well, the Tarletons are out in full swing tonight, and I'm sure Eve probably saw what Destry was able to do and said, all right, well, now it's my turn. And Eve Tarleton, the wife of Darren Tarleton, and I can promise you these Tarleton got cockiness in their vein, but they also got championship gold and success in their veins, as well as Eve Tarleton is a former NBW Women's Champion, but now she faces the AOR Women's
from
Champion.
Austin, Texas, weighing in at 187 pounds, she is the current All Out Revolution Women's Champion, Gloria Bass.
Gloria has been on such a high ever since winning the All Out Revolution Women's Championship. She's mentioned that it is a dream come true. This is the moment I have been waiting on since I stepped foot in the doors of All Out Revolution. At Breaking Boundaries, she has made it a reality, and now she has quickly realized that everywhere she goes, everywhere that championship goes, there is a target on her back, and she is well aware of that. In the previous episode of All Out Revolution, she did score a victory over former All Out Action Women's Champion Miss Wilcox, and now she faces another former women's champion, even though it is of a different promotion of NBW in Eve Tarleton here. Look at that. We're seeing the wrestling prowess of Eve Tarleton at work here, and look at it, now we're seeing Gloria using her side to her advantage there. Great side headlock now. Back in on the part of Eve. Eve able to get the better of that grappling exchange here. And I think that's something that Gloria may want to be a little wary of. She's going to give it a second go around. But she knows what she's doing from this position here. And look at it. Maybe realize she got to switch up her strategy ever so slightly. Incorporate some of that power. Incorporate some of that strength in there. Get some holds in. Get some grips in where you won't, or where it will be harder for Eve to potentially get out of. Now, since Eve knows she got Gloria beat in that regard,
she's going to kind of bait her in, and she did it perfectly. But now this time going for the 3 uppercuts, and now the power of Gloria was looking to shine through, going to go for that clothesline, and Eve with an excellent knee taking down Gloria Bassett. He's going to go strike away here at Gloria, and that's the thing that I feel that Gloria needs to be wary of kind of from the jump. You're in there with a more technical, with a more technical star in Eve, who's also, like Darren in a lot of ways, got that striking capability. Definitely not afraid to knock your jaw off and potentially break your jaw if necessary, and that might have did it, man. What a discus punch right to the mouth of Gloria Bassett, and Eve is feeling it. But Eve is taking her time, not going to rush in. Realize that she got all the time in the world, waiting for Gloria to get back in, catches her with a spine buster, and only gets a 1 count. I will say it's going to take a lot to put down the women's champion. That much is the promise. And if you're Gloria Bad, you kind of wrestle this matchup with eyes in the back of your head a little bit after what you did earlier to Candy Vega. And we do know that Sassy Vega more than likely is somewhere in the arena. But right now, she got to focus on Eve Tarleton, because if you take your eyes off Eve, it's going to be a very bad night. And right now, Gloria is experiencing that due to just the pure skill that Eve Tarleton has. Excellent exploder suplex. Gonna go straight for a cover. This might be a wrap right here in the 2 count. Gloria staying alive in this one. Imagine the victory. Imagine the elevation in the career of Eve Tarleton as we get closer to Action Central Wrestling. And she's able to pick up a win over the current women's champion. And kind of go back to something I mentioned previous episode. As these matches go along, you're going to see, some of the men and women try to put themselves in great position here. Excellent work. Wow. You're going to see these women put themselves in these men and women looking to put themselves in excellent position for, the start of Action Central Wrestling, and a great series of offense from Eve Tarleton. The springboard knee strike into the air raid crash, but not enough to get the women's champion. Couple of kicks to the midsection. I like how Eve is going right back to that. Now going for the leg now. Eve is feeling it. Eve is confident in her ability. He's showing it here. A couple of shots there from Gloria. Gloria have an open door. She better kick right through it in order to win this one. What a flapjack. Up and down goes Eve. And now Gloria is hitting at a 10, and she has to. The punch right to the spine into the full Nelson slam. Very innovative on the part of Gloria, but that's what makes her so good. Her ability to adapt to any situation. And these two women are figuring each other out very well. But now Gloria was able to get the better of that exchange. And now the power game of Gloria taking over. And this is where Gloria provides a threat now. This is where Gloria feels comfortable. Now she's looking to drop the base on Eve. But wait a minute. Not even letting her get that in all the way. Ooh. Throwing a couple of strikes there, and now Gloria back to the power game yet again with the suplex. That vertical suplex, but the wear and tear of this matchup is taking its toll. Gloria finally going for a cover here. This is going to be over. No, 2 count. And coming up next, ladies and gentlemen, is our co-main event. Brian Decker versus Sean Wright for the Global Championship. A wild night we've had so far. I can promise you that much. And look at him. Looking to drop the base as he done. Dropping the base to Eve, but the referee was knocked out beforehand. Now finally getting back to his feet here. Is it going to be enough? Did that buy Eve enough time? And it did. We're feeling a little bit upset at that one. Feeling that could have been a 3 count. And it almost was for Gloria. Oh! And Eve getting back into it with the striker, but after that knee strike, she's right back up. Eve was ready to go with the drop kick. Good elbow. Great forearm there from Eve. Slap across the face. That's just disrespect with the net breaker, though. Showing how good she really is. The contact between these two women are giving it their all here. Shooting star press off the top from Eve Tarleton. Eve now, she's looking to end this one. You gotta find the opening. Gotta go for some type of super kick. Gloria is able to counter, catches her with a clothesline, and now Gloria looking to end this one. Drop the, couldn't even get it. Eve got that move well scouted. Couple of forearms. Third one. Fourth one. Bringing that intensity to the women's champion. Now Eve. They're setting up for something here. Several forearms again. Really doing a great job at wearing down Gloria. Now what you got? Sending Gloria to the outside. Look at Eve putting a little bit of pep in her step there. Don't take an ELO up over the top. Taking out Gloria on the floor. Out in Sacramento Fitness saying that's awesome. Eve indicating to the crowd that, hey, it wasn't nothing awesome about it. I'm just using my head. I'm using my skill. I'm using what I know. And now, here we go. Putting her down. Beautiful work. Eve thinks this one is over. It may as well be. This might be a wrap for Gloria. No, it is not. 2.5. How close can you get? But Eve is feeling as confident as ever right now. She still feels like she's got this one in the bag. She hasn't lost her confidence. She isn't shaky. She isn't worried. She isn't stressing out. She isn't getting angry. She's just going to go right back to her offense. Oh, no. Excellent counter there from Gloria. Got her up over the shoulder. Air raid crash of her own. Down goes Eve. Wait a minute. She left it go. Hold on. I think she got something else in mind. Uh-oh. Oh, man. Might need 5 on this one. 2 body slams in a row. I think I know what Gloria is thinking on how to end this one. That's 3. 4. This might be over, man. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, Beal tossed her. Okay, that was. Wait a minute. I thought she was going to go for 5, but it's not the Beal tosser. Now she does 5. Eve is in trouble. This is not a good look for Eve Tarleton. Flashes it in the corner. Run it back. Flashes her again. Not a good look, bro. Oh, what a shoulder tackle. And you know what makes it so dangerous is that Gloria is hitting all of her big-time offense in one fluid motion. Ooh! We really don't think Gloria goes to the top rope, but whenever she does, oh man, is it vicious. And we've seen her do it successfully right there with the elbow drop. Eve is hurt. Eve is hurt, and unless Eve can find a way to get out this one, I think we're about to drop the base, and it's about to be over. Bingo! Gloria dropping the base. That's a wrap, yo. What a contest from these two women. These two women are giving it everything they got to pick up the win here. Here's your winner, Gloria back. So what a night for Gloria. She gets revenge and she gets the win. Talk about rolling going into the end of an era. For real. And I mentioned all championships will be unified at the end of an era. So if you're picking up wins like that, that's a good way to send a message. Be the opposing champion. Wait a second, someone coming through the crowd supposedly. Hey, wait a second, there's Toxeth. There's Toxeth. And we know she got a relationship with the Vegas here. And we know she was drafted here to All Out Revolution. But Gloria's waiting for this one. Gloria's telling ToxNet to bring it on. There she comes. Taking out the ref in the process. Gloria's ready for this stuff now. It's almost like the Vegas woke this up. It's like, oh, you want to go here? Well, let's go here then. Grief stomping out. Stomping out Gloria though. ToxNet stomping out Gloria, and now, oh man, it was only a matter of time before the wear and tear of this matchup caught up to Gloria. Oh, right back elbow though. Excellent counter. Excellent counter. Oh, ToxNet able to counter now. Shot to the midsection. And now ToxNet with the steel chair right to the rim. And then the DDT on the chair. Gloria was able to dodge the first strike. But the second one landed. Oh, wait a minute. Gloria's getting back to her feet though. And ToxNet with the steel chair right to the top of the head. And I think we found it. Wait a minute. Gloria is getting back to her feet again. How tough is this woman? And wait a minute now, Gloria going after ToxNet. These two women are brawling in the crowd now. I agree. I mean, the toughness of Gloria is on full display. Surviving the match that she did. And now withstanding the onslaught from ToxNet. Everyone saw what I just saw, right? Jason Wells went out here and lost to Dexter Tarleton after talking all of this junk to me, Andrew Lance, the person that built All Out Revolution from the ground up.
Wait, what?
Now returned home, and Jason was talking big to me, of all people, saying that I don't know what it's like to be in a winning category because he was a champion before me. Well, Jason, you are correct. You were a champion before me. In fact, you were the first ever All Out Action United States champion, Jason. But how did that go for you? Oh, right. You had one successful defense and then lost in a ladder match to A2J. You beat A2J in a submission match and then you lose to A2J in a ladder match. And now look at what A2J is doing, and now look at what you're doing. A2J is going on to be a world champion, and now, Jason, you are barking up my tree, trying to get shine off of my name, because you know wherever Andrew Lance goes, there is star power. You know wherever Andrew Lance goes, it's pure wrestling prowess, and you're going to see that next week, because I'm going to be in a match. I don't know against who yet, but I can promise you, Jason, next episode, I'm going to show why I have way more potential than you ever will. Take note, Jason, because you're going to need it. Well, big talk from Andrew Lance. All that stuff about Jason not being a champion, but nonetheless, speaking of champions, coming up next is our co-main event, the AOR Global Championship, as Brian Dexter defends against Sean Wright. Sean Wright won the #1 contenders matchup last episode, defeating Dexter Tarleton, and now we can see if he can get the job done against the global champion himself. And this is our co-main event. And real quick, to kind of address Andrew's statement once again, I don't know about building All Out Revolution from the ground up, since you weren't even here for 10 episodes before you went to All Out Action. And then since we're going to go there, how did All Out Action go for you? You had a shot at the World Championship at Armageddon and lost. You had a rematch inside an Elimination Chamber and lost, and then you had the chance to win a level up contract, which would have gave you an opportunity to challenge for whatever championship you wanted to, and you lost. Say what you want to say about Jason Wells, but Andrew, you ain't in the room to be talking about anything. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, as Sean Wright makes his way down to the ring, Sean Wright has every room to talk because we've seen how good this guy is. Sean Wright is a former All Out Action All-Star Championship, or champion. He's not a physical title. He won the AOA All-Star Championship back at Armageddon of Season 1 and beat Austin Wallace in record time for that championship, and he was kind of wrongfully robbed of that title. So we're going to see now how he does against Mr. Brian Dexter here, who's came in, and admittedly, Brian Dexter has had a way, better career than Andrew Lance have here in All Out Revolution, since this dude want to talk. Brian Dexter successfully has been defending his championship week in and week out, putting his championship on the line against anybody who wants to step up and challenge him. And if you're Brian Dexter here, now with this draft taking place, now with all the new talent that have made their way through the doors here, this is an opportunity that you really gotta step your game up. But also, I'm gonna add this about Brian Dexter. We saw him get involved in the fiasco with RJ Smith and Lorenzo Sampson earlier. And so, ladies and gentlemen, it had just come to my attention that as a result of what we just saw earlier between Brian Dexter and Dexter and all that, Mr. Bloomberg will be here in All Out Revolution next episode to address everything that Brian Dexter had done. I'm just saying. So, I hope that Christina can have Brian's back. I hope somebody is the voice of reason, because if not, I think Mr. Bloomberg could potentially going to fire Brian for that. And as wrong as that's going to be, it's probably going to happen. But I'm sure that's probably the last thing on Brian's mind right now. His goal is to defend that title.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall limited for the All Out Revolution Global Championship. Introducing first, the challenger from Seattle, Washington, standing in at 5'10", weighing in at 215 pounds, the Nightmare, Sean Wright. All right, ready to rock and roll. We're going to see how he does in this high-stakes environment. And introducing the champion from Miami, Florida, standing in at 6'6", weighing in at 287 pounds, he is the current All Out Revolution Global Champion, Brian Dexter.
And I can say this much about Brian Dexter. When you are on top of the world as Brian Dexter is, even though he's a global champion, he's not the world champion, all that other stuff. But you come in and you have a career like Brian Dexter, I can absolutely understand wanting to take the competition light. I can absolutely understand having this confidence about you to the point where it becomes ego, and the point where you are kind of delusional with your ego. But the thing I've admired about Brian Dexter is that he's been able to keep all of that in check. He doesn't take any opponent that he steps in the ring with lightly. He hasn't disrespected any of his opponents, because that's not the type of person that Brian is. Brian doesn't play that disrespect game. He knows what it's like for people to underestimate him. He knows what it's like to be in dire situation. And dude lost his eye in Japan, so definitely safe to say Brian knows what it's like to be, kind of fighting an uphill battle. And someone that, deals with vision issues himself. I will say that the fact that Brian is able to go out there and do what he's able to do inside this ring, and to make the impact that he has made up to this point, is absolutely incredible. Brian Dexter showing a great side of that right here tonight against Sean Wright. Great headbutt there, and we've seen Sean against some of the larger men in the industry. We've seen him face guys like Tyson Young. We've seen him in the ring with guys like Reaper, for instance. And so Sean needs to figure out a way to combat this power of Brian Dexter. But this is about to be a little bit of a difficult task here. The jackhammer connect. Down goes Sean Wright, straight into a cover and a kick out at one. Say what you want to say, but it is pretty early in this matchup. But I do credit Brian for going for the cover, and I do credit the heart of Sean for kicking out. Brian Dexter going to work here. The kick to the midsection, going to follow up nicely here. Just going to trip him down, going to keep things simple. And Sean having to roll out to the apron, try to bide himself some time, try to give himself a breather to prevent the onslaught of Brian Dexter. And look at Sean go. He finally got an opening, got the opening that was needed.
the straight right hand, and then the springboard knee strike right there. And look at Shawn, the pop-up Hurricane Rana. Now this is where Shawn gets dangerous, man. When he starts, you know, getting quick, when he starts taking things through the air, man, good luck following him. But the strength of Bryan on display, sending him to the outside, and now Shawn is in a heap of trouble out here on the floor now. Here we go. What a boot right to the face, man. Good grief. And Shawn has been on the back foot the majority of this matchup. And if you're Shawn in this case, you got to figure out how the heck you get out of this thing. You got to figure out what do you need to do in order to deal with this. I mean, because this is not going to let up. Bryan Dexter is clearly not going to let up as he nails another jackhammer to Shawn Wright. And now Shawn is in a position now where, man, dumped him on the back of his head and neck. Good grief. Yo, Shawn needs to figure something out here. It might be over, and no, it is not. Shawn's a tough cat. I'll give him that one. But Bryan seemed to be hitting on a whole nother level. I mean, he does own a victory over Jackson Wade, the current All-Out Revolution World Champion. And look at this. Oh, what a bulldog. Sending him face first into the mat here. And now that's a brief moment of, wow. Curb stomp, and that usually sets up for what we now know as the zero to hero. Is he going to hit it here? No, he is not. Bring him down face first. Shawn now is on a roll. He finally hits the bulldog, and the elbow drop now. I'd love to go for that elbow. Definitely a great move in his arsenal. Definitely a solid addition to his arsenal. And now, here's where Shawn can get the ball rolling. Look at these quick strikes here. Bring them through. Pump handle. X-Factor brings them down. We saw the tag team champion. We saw Shawn Walter pick up a win with that one. And look at Shawn Wright, though. He got something different in mind. He's going up to the middle rope here in the axe handle, keeping it simple. Don't have to get too flashy. And he made it work, and only a kick out at 2. Like how he immediately follows up with the neck snap. I mentioned before, Shawn Wright was kind of wrongfully robbed of that All-Star Championship. Wasn't able to get it back. Had owned a non-title victory over the All Out Action United States champion before the draft here. Whoa. You got to question the health of Shawn Wright there, and ready to recover. I think his feet are in the rope, but the referee didn't see it. But Shawn, I guess, didn't rely on that. They were able to kick out, and I hope Shawn's okay. I mean, we saw him collapse, and then Bryan Dexter catching him with that shot right to the face as he was dropping. But it looks like Shawn is good to go, and he's going to continue the offense here. They're going to send Bryan Dexter up to the outside, and Shawn got Bryan in his line of sight. Here we go. Suicide dive, sending him back first into that announce table. And if you are Shawn Wright, that's the type of opening that you needed. Let's see him take advantage of it. Excellent fist drop right there. 10 count is on. And now Shawn waiting on Bryan to get back up to his feet. Here we go. Excellent knee strike right there. And Shawn, this is where things get spicy. Shawn goes on the springboard frenzy here. And usually it's a great way to weaken your opponent, to keep yourself at a distance, and to continue the offense. Now we're going up to the top rope here. Excellent elbow drop again. The standing variety. Straight into a cover. There might be a wrap here. And you know, Shawn is known as the Nightmare, because he was about to. You know what? Nah, I'm not even about to make that pun. Never mind. You came here for genuine commentary. I'm going to give you genuine commentary. I'm not about to put myself over. What you think this is, bro? Who do you think this is? Anyway. Bryan Dexter will kick right to the midsection. I'm going to stay focused. I'm going to keep calling this match as I ain't paid to do. I'm not paid to make jokes because I ain't a comedian. You know, people find this channel funny for whatever reason, but I digress. Anyway, Brian Dexter back in control here. Letting Shawn, turning Shawn inside out. Off the rope goes Shawn. German suplex, baby. Brian made it back. Brian's beginning to cook. 0 to hero. If he got it, yes he does. 0 to hero. Down goes Shawn. This might be 3. Oh, I thought I saw a 3 count. That was so close. 2.9 beating. Wow. What will, what heart, what determination both of these men have to give it all they got for the global championship. And 0 to hero again. They put it away here, but Shawn was able to get out of that event. Now, brother, we good. Right into a German suplex. This is what Shawn needs. Shawn needs to get the ball rolling. Here we go. Proper Hurricanrana again. Excellent. Look at it. Oh! Shawn wasted very, very little time. Immediately following up and out with the, I guess it was a splash more or less in this case. And now that's allowed for Shawn to take advantage, especially since he was able to make it. Let me try that again in English. Was able to make it to his feet first, and the springboard missile drop kick Shawn, and now in his bag. Is his bag going to contain some championship? Contain the global championship? That is the question. But Brian said, nah, brother, your bag is going to remain empty for the moment, but Shawn is ready to rock and roll. Excellent DDT. You can tell he got that distance. He's setting up for that silent dream. Super kick, and he nailed it. He nailed the silent dream super kick, but Shawn is not. Wait, now he's going for the cover. Wait, nope, he left it. What are you doing? He nailed the silent dream super kick, and now. Oh, I think I know what he's doing. Kick to the knee. The corner variation of the Nightmare Unleashed. Right on the top of the hand. Silent Dream super kick. Nightmare Unleashed. And that's a wrap. And we got a new global champion. What a matchup, man. Good stuff. Good stuff. Here's your winner and the new All Out Revolution Global Champion, the Nightmare, Shawn Wright. Well, what a win for Shawn Wright, and I gotta say, what a run for Brian Dexter, man. What a run for Brian Dexter. Brian Dexter came out here, he was a tremendous champion, but I think under the reign of Shawn Wright, I believe it's going to continue. Congratulations to Shawn, well earned. And again, he's one of the very few men that can say he has held an all-out action and all-out Revolution championship. So congratulations in that regard to Shawn Wright, man. First off, I would like to issue a congratulations to Brian Dexter. What a competitor, what a champion, and what a wrestler. Brian, I hope that I'm able to carry the legacy that you started with the Global Championship. And by doing so, I figured that I'd be the same type of champion that he is, a fighting champion. So I'm here to announce that next week, here on All Out Revolution, I will issue an open challenge to anyone in that locker room who wants the Global Championship, that never had the chance to, that got robbed out of it, whoever. I'm issuing that challenge to you. And if I make it to the final episode of All Out Revolution Global Champion Destry, my man, I want to give you one more match. And I want to give you a match for the Global Championship. So by all means, let me know what you think. Thank you, Brian Dexter. Thank you all, you wonderful fans. And I'll see y'all
next episode. Peace.
Shawn is not taking a rest. Shawn is not taking a single bit of rest. Why? Dude, you are the global champion. Celebrate, enjoy the moment. But I guess Shawn's going to do what he's got to do. And coming up next, ladies and gentlemen, it is our main event. The All Out Revolution World Champion Jackson Wade takes on Mac Wolf in singles action. From everything we heard from Jackson Wade earlier, this dude is ready to go. And Mac Wolf coming off breaking boundaries and unfortunately he lost in the triple threat match. Now has a great opportunity to take on the All Out Revolution World Champion in Jackson Wade. What a moment this can be for
The following
Mac
contest is your All Out Revolution main event, scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from Toledo, Ohio, weighing in at 220 pounds, Mac Wolf.
Mac Wolf has been in contention before for the World Championship, like I just mentioned, within the triple threat match at Breaking Boundaries. He was also in the Elimination Chamber match for the All Out Action World Championship back at the Conquer All pay-per-view. And now, with this opportunity here on a new show, with new faces, and especially a dominating champion like Jackson Wade, you have a great opportunity if you're Mac Wolf to really stick your feather in that cap and to really get things going for you. You had your issues with your former friend James Black. You kind of put that to the side. You tell your friend James Black to give you your space, and now, well, he kind of forced you because you two are on separate shows. So now it's time for Mac Wolf to officially move on with his career here. And some opponent to do it against in Jackson Wade, that much I can promise you. I say that not to underestimate Mac Wolf.
And introducing the opponent, accompanied by top-class Warrior members Simon Ortiz, Johnny Evil, and Brandino. From Detroit, Michigan, weighing in at 287 pounds, he is the leader of top-class Warriors and the All Out Revolution World Champion, Jackson Wade.
Jackson Wade won the All Out Revolution World Championship back at the Onslaught pay-per-view, dismantling RJ Miles. He then gave RJ Miles a rematch in a last chance match, indicating that if RJ loses, he can no longer challenge for the championship as long as Jackson Wade is the champion. He beats him via count out, you punk. But then he goes on to have a successful defense against Nate Shields at Breaking Boundaries, who then is drafted to All Out Revolution. He's drafted to All Out Action along with RJ Miles. So the only guy that's now on his radar from the previous class of guys that were here in Mode-AOR is Brian Dexter, to tell you the honest truth. But we know that on the final All Out Revolution episode, Jackson Wade will face Dave and Monster inside of a steel cage for that World Championship. So if Jackson Wade thought that the road was going to get any easier because RJ, JB, Nate Shields, whatever was drafted, he is clearly dead wrong. And going into end of an era where your title and the All Out Action World Championship is going to be unified, boy, if you don't keep yourself at 100% as much as possible, which is probably why he had these three gentlemen out here, and Johnny Evil, Simon Ortiz, and Brandino. But if he's sleeping on Mac Wolf, he got another thing coming. But from what it sounds like he is, and I hope Mac Wolf makes him regret it and shows exactly why he deserves to be world champion material. Mac Wolf, Jackson Wade, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, as our main event is underway, I would like to say if you watched up to this point, thank you. And if you haven't done so already, you still feel so inclined, feel free to click the like, comment, subscribe, and also click the bell icon. That way you don't miss another upload. And Jackson Wade kind of toying with Mac Wolf early on. He's going to dump him to the outside, and Brandino pick him up to his feet. And I think Mac Wolf realizes the danger that he's in. And now Johnny Evil getting in the face
getting in the face of Mac Wolf, and that opens the door for Jackson Wade to come around the back door and to do what he did and kicking Mac Wolf dead in his face. And now Mac Wolf is in a heap of trouble out here on the floor, you know, with Jackson Wade and company. This is not good look for Mac Wolf, who just got sent spine first off the announce table. And Jackson Wade is already deadly by himself, but now add in having his boys with him. It makes it a heck of a lot harder. So now you got to keep your eyes in the back of your head for 3 other participants in this one. Sitting off the rope and right into a spine buster. Immediately into a cover, not a bad idea. Straight into one count, enough said. Mac Wolf is a fighter. Jackson Wade knows Mac Wolf is a fighter because he did mention his I Quit match against James Black, in which, yes, Mac Wolf took a beating and kept, he was bleeding bucket too, but he took a beating and he kept rolling. And now, oh man, we're going to see how much Mac Wolf can take here tonight in this one. Mac Wolf may not physically say I quit, but you know, he may definitely, oh goodness, oh! Referee taking a minute to get down there and to give a 2 count, but I was about to say Mac Wolf may not physically say I quit, but it doesn't take much to get your shoulder pinned down for a 3 count, man. And now Mac Wolf is still absolutely beat down here by Jackson Wade, and Jackson Wade, for as confident as he is, for as cocky as he is, he's backed up every single bit of what he's saying, which makes me wonder, at end of an era, whoever goes in the All Out Action World Champion, are we looking at Jackson Wade potentially being the first ever ACW World Champion? But I say that, and no, wait a minute. Well, hold on a second. Hold on, let me put some respect on Mac Wolf's name real quick. Look at Mac Wolf go! Tornado DDT on the floor. But you know what, as we get close to the end of an era, you got the possibility of it being Jackson Wade, Monster, or Dave going in as the world champion. And if you're either one of these individuals on the All Out Action side, you're wary of that. It looks like a little bit of miscommunication. Wait a second, whoa. Alvin Ortiz jumping in. And now Johnny Evil making the distraction, and Top Class Warriors really trying to get into the head of Mac Wolf here, and that definitely allowed Jackson Wade to take control once again. Now, dude. And now Mac's in a very dire spot. Look at that, the German suplex off the top rope this time. And they go straight for a cover instantly, because why not? So close right there. You get a 2 count. I mean, you got to keep it going, bro. How much I will say. Yeah, we're talking about end of an era. Well, never mind. Hold on a second. I think we might be getting to the end of this matchup here. That military press spine buster. Well, man, I think we might be finished. I mean, he said he was going to make him tap out. He might be going for that torture rack or the accordion rack. Take your pick. And Mac Wolf said, nah, bro, I ain't about to let you pick none of that. He's going to get out of that one. Here we go. Off the ropes goes Max, up and over. And that spinning heel kick. Look at Max trying to get back in this one. And if you ask me, I believe Max has proven himself to be world champion, deserving to be a championship contendership off of this performance right here. Go for the cover on Jackson Wade, and no 2 count. With a 2 count, you got to keep fighting, and Mac Wolf knows that. He's not going to get frustrated. He knows who he's in there with. I'm sure Mac ain't stupid. He knows what Jackson Wade can do. He knows what Jackson Wade is capable of, and Mac Wolf is giving it his all here against Jackson Wade. Look at that insult. The injury right to the rib. Given the injury that probably developed. Oh, wow. To Jackson Wade, Mac Wolf might be on to something. The springboard 450 right to a cover and a 2 count again.
Mac Wolf got to stay on top of this one. We got the world champion in a vulnerable spot. He had the world champion in a vulnerable spot. Commentator Kurt kicks in, and Mac Wolf, I don't know if it was on instinct or intentional, but Mac Wolf rolled to the outside of the ring, and there was like a little bit of miscommunication there on the side of Top Class Warriors. And I think that little bit of miscommunication allowed enough time for Mac Wolf to get back into one thing of the champion back on the inside of the ring. Going up top, not letting Johnny Evelyn and Cyber Team phase him. Missile drop kick off the top rope by Wolf. I tried to not get tongue-tied there, but he might have a win, and no, he gets a 2 count again. I mean, he's getting 2 counts. That's a good thing, but you might want to start seeing the ref hand get past that 2 count. If you want, You're looking right to the mouth, my boy. Way to go. Up to the top rope. Going for the full moon. He missed it. We're going for the full moon. He got out of the way. Here we go. Look like Jackson Wade trying to go for a suplex. Get that mess out of here. Back suplex. And Jackson Wade. Are you kidding me? Jackson Wade is back up. Jackson Wade is back up. Mac Wolf is still laid out. Jackson Wade with a splash from the top rope. We never seen this dude go to the top rope like that. Wait a second. A chair in the ring. Oh, wow. And a 2.5. 2.5. How close was that? And we got a steel chair in the ring. Slid in right under the referee's knees there. They were going for the count. Jackson Wade, he's measuring Mac Wolf. He's thinking about using that chair, but the referee going to do his part to get. Of course. Because of course he is. Jackson Wade is going to send the referee out to the floor, and now he got the steel chair in hand. And now, let me get it. Now he's about to use it. Yep, use the chair. I've never seen Jackson Wade stoop to this much desperation in my life. Spear and spear. Hey, yo, Jackson. Referee back in. Referee able to get back in. Well, the referee able to get back in. Prop to him there. And the matchup still continues. And if it wasn't for Jackson Wade doing that, he probably would have had a better chance. Nope, he messed himself up on that. The referee down again. But face first. Referee down again. And wait a second, Mac Wolf now. He's going to the outside. I don't know what he was thinking about doing. But right now he got to focus back on the inside. Going for the full moon right to the ribs. He got him. Full moon. Right to the rim. Does he have Jackson Wade? No, that's 2.9. How close can you get, man? Mac Wolf need to do something. He caught him with the full moon, but he kicked out. And so now, if you're Jackson Wade here, now you're fighting on the back foot. Now you got to put some respect on Mac's name a little bit here. Talk all that junk about him, and now you got to back it up. What you freaking do? Welcome to life. Back suplex from Mac Wolf off the top rope. Mac may have it here. Mac Wolf may have it. If he get that Mac out, he might be on to something. Hit it, bro. Go for the counter into the accordion rack. The accordion rack is locked into Mac Wolf. He got it. Yes, he got it. The accordion rack, and Mac had no choice but to tap out, but that dude was heating up, man. Jackson didn't counter at that moment. That would have been a wrap, bro. Wow.
Here's your winner, Jackson Wade.
Well, what a win for Jackson Wade, gaining momentum going into his World Championship matchup. And the question is, can Dave or Monster topple Jackson Wade ahead of an era? Is Jackson Wade going to go into end of an era the World Champion? And what is next for Mac Wolf here on All Out Revolution after a performance like that? But we got to go. So good night from Sacramento, and we'll see you next time.